Assalamualaikum dear students. Welcome to NIVS Home School. I hope you all are fine. I am Kamrun, Assistant Teacher of English, National Ideal English Version School, Day Shift. Today I am going to take English Literature class for the students of class 4. And our today's topic is Comprehension from Buzzword. And you know that from this comprehension you have to answer true, false, fill in the blanks and question answer. And today we select Unit 6 and our today's topic is a strange visitor. And this comprehension is about an elephant and he was our strange visitor. And let's read why he was called a strange visitor. I'm going to tell you a story about an elephant that did something quite unusual. He once went to a hospital. So there is a speaker who narrates this story, and he was going to tell us about a story about a story of an elephant, and this elephant went to a hospital. And why did the elephant go to the hospital? We will know it after reading this comprehension. A few days ago, I had gone to the hospital to see a friend who was ill. As soon as I went in through the gates, I saw an elephant standing guard outside the emergency ward. Standing guard means keeping watch over something, and emergency ward is a part of a hospital where patients are given treatment at once. And looking at him closely, I realized that it was Conan, the temple elephant. Now our speaker went to the hospital to meet his friend who was sick, and when he entered into the gate, he saw that an elephant was standing outside of the emergency ward, and a number of people crowded around him. And when he went close to the elephant, he saw that it was Conan, and who is the temple elephant. But where was his mouth? Nandan. I had never seen one without the other. And Mahout is a person who looks after an elephant, and the name of this Mahout was Nandan. That means Nandan looked after this elephant. The doctor whom I knew told me that Nandan had been admitted to the hospital. He had a sudden heart attack. Luckily, he is out of danger now, but he will have to stay here for at least another week, the doctor said. Now, the doctor informed the speaker that the Mahout Nandan had a heart attack. Luckily, he was out of danger, but he had to stay in this hospital for 1 week. Conan had followed his Mahout to the hospital. He was now refusing to leave. I saw Prabhakaran, the assistant Mahout, talking to Conan. He was trying to take him away. Now Conan followed his Mahout to this hospital. When Nandan was taken to the hospital, he just followed his Mahout. And now this elephant did not want to leave this place. Now the speaker saw Prabhakaran, who was the assistant Mahout, and this Prabhakaran tried to talk to Conan, but he was not able to convince the elephant to leave this place. Now look, he was trying to take him away, but what happened? I went up to Prabhakaran and asked him what had happened to Nandan. Prabhakaran replied, he was giving Conan a bath in the river when he complained of a severe pain in the chest. He scrambled out of the water and fainted. Scrambled out means come out with great difficulty. And I called for help and we brought him to the hospital. So, speaker asked Prabhakaran about Nandan, and Prabhakaran said that Nandan had a severe pain in his chest when he was giving birth to the Conan, and then Nandan came out from water with a great difficulty, and Prabhakaran called for help, and then they took Nandan to this hospital. And what about Kanan? I asked. Prabhakaran replied, he saw us taking Nandan away in a car and followed us all the way to the hospital. He's been standing here since then. Now, Prabhakaran also explained that Kanan saw them to take Nandan to this hospital in a car, and he followed that car and came to this hospital. And from that moment, this elephant was standing there. The doctors are not happy about that Prabhakaran. They want the elephant taken away from the hospital compound, I told Prabhakaran. So now the speaker told Prabhakaran that the doctors were not happy about this hospital. They want this elephant taken away from their hospital compound. I know, but how can I make him understand that? Said Prabhakaran. Nandan never used a stick or steel to goad him. How can I use them away? Goad means to use a stick to prod any animal. That means to give direction, they use a stick. How can I use them now? Now Prabhakaran said that Nandan never used a stick or steel to give direction to this elephant. So now he could not do this. Take him to the shade of the trees for the time being. I said, you may be able to take him away later. Now the speaker suggested Prabhakaran to take this elephant to the shade of the trees, and then Prabhakaran may be able to take him away from this hospital. Kanan refused to move from where he was standing. He wanted to be as close to Nandan as possible. With great difficulty, Prabhakaran moved him to the foot of a large tree near the hospital wall. But Kanan refused to move from this place because Kanan wanted to be close to Nandan. But after great difficulty, Prabhakaran moved this elephant to a large near a large tree, and which was near the hospital wall. Now Nandan was discharged 7 days later. All this while, Kanan waited for him under the tree. He seemed sad and worried and ate nothing. So Kanan was released 7 days later. But all the time, Nandan was released 7 days later, and all the time Kanan waited for his mahout under this tree, and he looked worried for his mahout, and he did not eat anything. When Nandan became strong enough to walk a little, he went to meet Kanan. The elephant's eyes lit up with joy. He waved his trunk, flapped his ears, and took a few dancing steps. So when Nandan became quite well, he went to meet Kanan. And when this elephant saw his mahout, it became very happy. And to show his happiness, he waved his trunk, flapped his ears, and also took some dancing steps. I'm all right, Kanan. I know you have been waiting for me for the whole week, Nandan said, patting him. Don't worry, we can go home now. Then he held out a bunch of bananas which the elephant gobbled up happily. Now Nandan was talking to Kanan, and he assured that they will go home now. And Nandan knew that Kanan was over there, and he did not eat anything. That's why he gave this elephant a bunch of bananas, and the elephant was very hungry and it ate very quickly. Gobbled up means eating something very quickly. The onlookers were amazed. Just look at that, they exclaimed. These two are more like brothers than elephant and mahout. Onlookers means people who look at something without being a part of it. That means the people who were looking at them, they become very amazed and surprised, and they exclaim that Nandan and Kanan look brothers more than elephant and mahout. Now there's some sample of true false, fill in the blanks and question answer, and you will practice it at your home. Number 1. Prabhakaran was not as close to Conan as Nandan was. It's true. Because Nandan was very close to Conan. Number 2. The speaker went to the hospital to see a friend. This is also true. We have read it in the beginning of this story or comprehension. Number 3. Nandan was discharged 10 days later. It is false because Nandan was discharged after 7 days. Now fill in the blanks, and we will choose words to fill out these blanks from this comprehension. Conan dashed to move from where he was dash. That means Conan refused to move from where he was standing. And number 2, Conan had dashed his mahout to the hospital. That means Conan had followed his mahout to the hospital. And number 3, he wanted to be as close to Nandan as dash. And we know that this will be possible because it is in our comprehension. He wanted to be as close to Nandan as possible, and that's why he did not leave the hospital. Now question answer. Why was Nandan admitted to the hospital? How long did he stay there? Why Nandan admitted to the hospital? Because he had a severe pain in his chest and he stayed there for at least 1 week. So our answer will be Nandan was admitted to the hospital because he had a sudden heart attack. He stayed there for 7 days. And number 2, what did Conan do when Nandan was in the hospital? So what did Conan do? Conan did not leave this hospital compound and he did not eat anything when Nandan was in this hospital. So our answer will be Conan refused to leave the hospital and ate nothing when Nandan was in the hospital. So you will practice more true false, fill in the blanks and question answer from this comprehension, and that's all for today. Hope you have understood our today's topic. Keep practicing at home and obey your parents. See you again. Allah Hafiz.